So we're going to talk about 3 items, red flags you look for when you're doing rental applications. So you have a property in the market, you have tenants come look at it, and they submit an application. You have them complete the form online and use a paper application. You ask for background information, rental reference, job history, all these types of things, right? So here's 3 things that we've seen where people try to trick us with false documents or bad information. So number 1 is rental verification, giving us somebody's number, email that doesn't match up with the address. So you can do a quick real estate search and see who owns that property, get the name, maybe it's an LLC sometimes, but getting a name that ends with, it's hotmail.com or whatever it is, and maybe it's we've even seen where that number is the same number as somebody else on the list, right? But creative people, they'll answer the phone. When you call them and you try to check that reference, they seem vague, they don't quite know what you're asking for. These are things you really need to look for. So this is one of the most common ones. So this is also why we don't put a lot of weight on rental reference. We definitely want to get that. We definitely want to call and talk to them. Another thing you find out is maybe that person that actually owns that property wants to get rid of this tenant. And so we want to call the most recent and the ones before that. But really look at those dates. Are they fuzzy? Do they actually know when they moved in, moved out? Can they provide a lease? That type of stuff. So that's number 1, is rental reference information is not accurate or made up or just a phone number, or maybe it's their brother, their sister, their mom, their dad, somebody like that. Next one is fake documents. So this is one we're kind of seeing more and more of. Pay stubs, maybe they can't provide you a pay stub, actually a hard copy, or it's a screenshot that could maybe be altered. One thing we found on the fake pay stubs, if you actually get the pay stub and it's a PDF, a lot of times if you try to copy and paste it, you can see what areas that have been covered up with different information, or maybe there's numbers that are repeated, where every single month it's the exact same pay amount, no matter how many hours they worked, it's always $2,000 a month or whatever like that. So these are things you want to look at. Kind of look for different characters, different typing. Maybe the fonts don't match up. Another thing that to kind of protect yourself on that we do is when somebody gives us a pay stub, we want to ask for their most 2 recent pay stubs. And we also ask for 2 months of bank statements, so we can actually look at their bank statement and see, does this actually go in and match? Are they actually getting this $2,000 deposit every month? We can also use that to kind of look at their expenses a little bit, but it's really a good way to verify that W-2 income. But that's one you see is where, it looks like a fake company name, or maybe that stuff doesn't check out. So again, once you get that, we should be calling that employer to verify that. But again, that phone number could be off and different. So we've seen all these types of things. So that's 2 things right there. And then the third one is just incomplete application, or maybe being evasive on some of it, or saying they don't have history, they don't know anything, missing landlord contact, unverified employer, or an application that pushes to have you skip that. So these are kind of the 3 things you're really looking for: is rental reference. Can you prove it? Is it a property management company? Is it a landlord that you can verify owns that property? Number 2 is fake documents. And this one's actually becoming bigger and bigger with the way that how easy it is to get a fake ID. We all have a teenager that maybe has done that, but you can get a fake ID that can say whatever you want. We've had people send us multiple IDs, one from maybe Maryland and then a New Jersey one that has different information. Anyway, some of the scammers aren't as smart as they think they are, but these are really things you want to look at. So again, it's fake documents, rental reference, and then just fuzzy information and inconsistent information. So for more tips or anything, follow us, subscribe to this. We add a lot of information to try to help landlords, especially in the Maryland, DC area, on how to manage their property correctly. And if you ever need anything, reach out, let us know.